Hello again, everybody. I'm Dr. Glenn with Infinite Wellness, and we're back with another one of our series of our meet and greet series. So we're here with another one of my esteemed colleagues, somebody that I am so happy to be able to bring to you, to show, to kind of introduce, because this is another portion of some of what I'm not, or not shouldn't say not able to do, don't offer in my office anymore. Used to when I was in Nightdale, had a bigger place, and I've known her for a while. I trust her. So I'd like to welcome today Miss Christina Taylor. She works at Lifetime Fitness, and Spa. She clarified that. She works in the spa portion of Lifetime Fitness on Falls of Neuse Road. And we're so happy to have her here today so that we can talk a little bit more about how massage therapy complements what we already do. So tell us a little bit, Miss Christina, about you.
I've been a licensed massage therapist for 10 years now. I've kind of hopped around different avenues. Had my own practice for 4 years, but kind of settled back into the corporate world recently. Lifetime is a great place to come to, and it's one of those that you can kind of get the whole spa experience and a little bit of working out as well. The Life Spa is open to the public, so you can come in and enjoy your service and go hang out in the sauna or the steam room, hot tub in the locker rooms. You can even get a quick workout in before your massage as well.
Oh, I love that. That's really great. So all kinds of fitness in one spot, which we love. So a little more of what I kind of want to bring into this, I want to kind of explain. I'm sure most everybody is familiar these days with what a massage is. But there are multiple different types of massages, aren't there? Mm-hmm. Yeah, lots of different stuff that can be done. And so I'll let Christina expound on some of that, but there are different things you can get a massage for. So what are some of the things that you work on or you see most common?
The most basic that I think everyone is familiar with is Swedish massage. That is your typical relaxation, de-stress.
My favorite.
Massage is definitely more soft tissue manipulation.
Absolutely.
Works very closely with the musculoskeletal system, and that's why massage and chiropractic is important, because musculoskeletal works together. You have the bones and you have the muscles. And then you get into some of the more common types that people like to get, which is more of the deep tissue or any kind of combination where you're really working more of the knots or adhesions out in the muscle tissue to allow for pain relief, help with chronic inflammation. There's also some manual lymphatic drainage that you can get as well.
Let me interrupt you there just real quick. That one was an awesome one. And I don't know if people know as much about this one as lymphatic drainage. People don't really understand even what the lymphatic system is.
Yep.
So when we talk about lymphatics, one easier way to maybe bring that to people's mindset is anytime we get a cold, our body has to drain our sinuses in our head. And as it does that, it goes through a system predominantly that leads down the neck, under the collarbones, and down through across under the axilla, as we call it, the armpit, and down out of the body. And it does all of this to bring things down through the kidneys to release it through us. And lymphatic system is the system that does that. So all those swollen glands you get when you have a cold, when things are draining, that's part of your lymphatic system. And there's a whole thing of massage set around that, isn't there?
Yes, and of course you know that the lymphatic system doesn't operate on a natural circulatory system.
Right.
Like the heart is circulatory, but the lymphatic system is also the filter for the blood, filters your hormones, filters dead fat cells, and it helps support the immune system. So if there's any blockages anywhere, a lot of times people will come in and get lymphatic drainage because the body can't naturally do it on its own. Sometimes it needs a little help. Massage is a great way, and even the diaphragmatic breathing really helps to stimulate. You'll even see people use the vibration plates to help stimulate their lymph system.
Absolutely.
So there's lots of
and there's a lot more of that I think that people realize. So that compromise, like you said, in the lymphatic system can come from lots of different things, but we see a lot of it. I know in my patients, I had one earlier today that have had breast cancer surgeries where lymphatics have been removed and things of that nature, and things don't flow as well, do they?
And it
People
creates
with compromised
lymphedema.
Yep, absolutely. We see that swelling, lymphedema, fancy word for swelling. You'll see swelling and pooling of fluid in the lower legs and the hands in different areas based off what's not flowing. Yeah, that's really awesome. So to complement a little bit more, just kind of, speaking of what we do together, chiropractic, we focus predominantly on structure for the same reason that she's talking about. We want everything to flow naturally and things flow better, whether it's circulatory, lymphatic, neurological, when everything moves and is functional the way it should be. I focus heavily on the joint specifics, position, structure, whereas Christina's going to focus predominantly on the muscular system, and like she said, even some of that lymphatic portion for drainage and other things. So works really great together. I think it's probably one of the most complementary professions for what I do. For chiropractic, massage therapy is our most complementary. I've always said that. In fact, I've had massage therapists in my clinics since I began 26 years ago. I think I've probably had at least 10 as the years have gone by, different massage therapists that I've welcomed into my practices or been close to enough that I refer on a regular basis because I believe it's a necessity. Chiropractic is a wonderful thing. Acupuncture, which I do wonderful things. All of these have their place, but massage therapy is something that is so complementary to us because it does take care of the one thing that I don't address, musculoskeletal, in office. We leave that to the professionals, right?
Yeah.
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 And we love that you're one of them.
Yeah, and one of the things too that I mention to my clients all the time is that when it comes to chiropractic and massage, because I get this question a lot, it's a combination. So you have to be very self-aware of your body and how the movement and everything's affected, and musculoskeletal being bone and muscle, and then you have connective tissue as well.
Right.
Sometimes you can't find movement or anything, and you may feel like it's more muscular when it could in fact be structural that's throwing off the muscle tissue, or vice versa.
Yep.
So kind of being more aware of your body and the movements that you're making, any pain is always that little alarm in your body that is just like there is something not right here. So definitely paying attention to what's going on with your body. And chiropractic and massage, sometimes it's chiropractic needed first and then massage, or massage needed first and then chiropractic, and then sometimes they have to be paired with each other. So just finding that good rhythm. And one thing that I say, and I think you can probably agree too, is however your body reacts to the adjustment or even the massage, just knowing what your rhythm's going to be. If you have any soreness after a chiropractic adjustment, massage is probably most likely going to be better after. If you were having trouble, or Dr. Glenn over here is having trouble getting an adjustment,
that's right,
that soft tissue work is going to be necessary in order for the structural to line up.
Absolutely. Yeah, they're that closely paired. And I love that she makes that's a great way to show that. Mm-hmm. Is that, sometimes the work that I do is much easier and much better done once they've already had something that's loosened things up. And sure, vice versa. Oftentimes it's really hard to get a muscle to let it not go if whatever's underneath it keeps locking that area back down. Mm-hmm. And so, the complementary portion of this is really why I think people need to understand that not only do we need a lot of professionals in the alternative healthcare field to help us know and to feel better, but we need a group of them, not just one person to fix it all. And I get it, right? Alternative healthcare is a little more expensive, out-of-pocket portion, right? No insurance. And so I think that's a big thing that we run into. Patients often want to come to one person, spend a little, and everything be fixed. And I wish it were that easy. I really do. If one person could fix it all, they should charge an awful big fortune, truthfully, because they're worth it. But unfortunately, in the alternative healthcare fields, we all pair well together, and nobody can do it all in our field. It's not like the old days of a general surgeon where you could go in and he could evaluate you, quote unquote, from head to toe and figure out what your joint problematics are in an entire visit. Nowadays, it's not like that anymore. Oftentimes, we need multiple specialists throughout the medical field. That occurs also in the alternative healthcare field. Mm-hmm. There need to be enough of us to evaluate you and assess you. And whoever you go to, hopefully, has the mindset like we do, right? Where it's okay. You may need some other stuff here. It's not just, come to me and I fix you. That's been the mindset, I think, of patients for a long time. Yeah. And, we have to kind of put it together as to how our body works and what works best for us. We do need to, she used a great quote, pay attention, right?
Yeah.
You've got to pay attention to your own health. And so, again, that's the big part of this series, is trying to get people to understand that there are lots of facets to health, that there are professionals out here who want to help you, and that we're looking to try to help you build that network of trusted individuals. And that's why the videos. I'm trying to find my trusted professionals. Patricia, a question.
This is like more of a massage question, I guess. I personally, and I know other people that have gone through this, when we have really tight spots and we go to a massage therapist, there's these times when there's what feels like bubbles in our muscles that like have to be worked out. Would you be able to explain what that is?
Yes. So I actually am very much known for comparing and using food analogies. So, I mean, food, what is more relatable? So when it comes to the anatomy of a knot, or the technical term is an adhesion, because that's essentially what the muscles do. They are sticking to each other. There's a lot of stuff that gets trapped in the muscle tissue, whether it be from overuse and different byproducts of protein and things building up, the lactic acid.
There it is.
So my food analogy is spaghetti. So anyone that's cooked spaghetti, when you're boiling it in a pot, essentially if you stir it, everything's loosey-goosey, feels great. And when you boil spaghetti noodles together and you don't do any stirring, so that would be kind of relative to like the overuse in muscle tissue or the repetitive movement. So what does that spaghetti bundle do?
Sticks together.
Sticks together.
Yeah.
So that's essentially what the knot looks like. So we use different techniques, cross fiber friction. Sometimes we go more myofascial with the fibers of the muscle tissue in order to try and release that. And when it's really stubborn, that's when I start to break out my tools, and I use cupping therapy to help with that too.
I thought she was going to say a fork.
Oh,
Yeah.
After that spaghetti analogy, right? That's what I do with spaghetti. I'm in here with a fork. Right? Some of that stuff can get pretty sticky, but that's awesome. Wow, that's a good analogy. I like that. Referring things back to food, that's a good way to do that. But yes, it's very true. And oftentimes in that case where she's talking, I love the analogy of the spaghetti. I think that's perfect. And then add into that, like from our field, stuff that would be even underneath it. So not only does that spaghetti oftentimes stick to itself and form a big conglomerated mess, it also sticks to the pot. That's right. So the structures themselves can end up that way. And that's how they end up around joint areas. And they'll lock that joint completely down, just being that stuck. And so I think that was very relatable. Spaghetti's a good one. So that kind of gives us that little bit of we call it a visual appeal. Yeah, visual appeal of that's what I got in me. And all of that does need to be broken up. All of that does need better flow. And I think that's probably the big thing I've had a commonality with everybody I've talked to, whether it's in women's health or with David, one of my other videos. We all talk about that same thing, is how the body flows. And that incorporates everything. How do your muscles flow or move on one another? How do your joints flow? How do meridians flow? How does even cellular energy, blood flow? All of these are important. And even today, bringing in the new one, which I don't think we spoke of yet, but I'm glad we did, lymphatic flow. And that's one I think more people don't know as much about and probably need a little more education, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we can keep educating on that too and try to keep all of that as part of what we do.
Yeah.
Well, we're happy to have Christina here with us today. This has been a real pleasure, quite a joy. We're glad to have you alongside us. We trust you and we know that she takes good care of everybody. So it's nice having her here. And hopefully we'll get you a lot more people running through your doors. I know she's already very, very busy. So we'll keep her that way, and hopefully you'll have to find her and schedule her out. But glad to have you today. Happy to have this. Please like this video and share it with your friends. Let everybody know. The more people that know about us, the more we can offer. And happy to have your questions. Anything asked, we'll be happy to give you an answer. If it's about something I've said, I'll be happy to answer you. If you have questions about anything Christina's posted or put out there today, please feel free to ask the question. And if I can't answer it, I'll get it to her and I'll have her answer.
Yeah.
So thank you. Good. Thank you again for being here.
Thank you.